voice. Bye. Hey YouTube, it's Hala, and this is the 12 weeks of keto update for weeks 3 and 4. I apologize for not updating on Thursdays like I had hoped, but it's been a crazy couple of 2 weeks. I actually filmed this video 2 or 3 times during those 2 weeks, and there was so much to talk about, and I didn't have enough time to go through all the data and talk about it the way I really wanted to, so I had to wait until I had a free weekend, which is today, May 21st, and it's like 7 a.m. and I have morning voice, so I apologize, but I wanted to do this video properly, so please forgive me for that. So like I said, the past 2 weeks were crazy, and the best way for me to sum it up is STFU. Stress, time, fatigue, and unexpected. First, I'm just going to talk about stress because it does tie into the other 3 parts of STFU, and it's something that I have a problem dealing with in general. For me, when it comes to stress, like I seem to handle it really well. Like I'm always really calm on the outside, but on the inside it's just like a bomb waiting to go off probably, and it's just tense energy all the time. The reason why I was stressed was because on the 8th I started my new job, or I guess it's my same job as an English teacher, but now I have 2 new schools in a different city, so I have to commute for like an hour every day, at least. I mean, of course, I was just starting again, so I was nervous, or not really nervous, but just stressed, like, I have to readjust, get to know people, make sure I'm there on time, get back into work when I had spent, all of April doing what I wanted to do on my time, and it was amazing, and now I'm on the man's time, and time. I have no time anymore. My weekdays are shot. I get up 5:30 a.m. and I leave my house at like 6:30. I go to work and everything, and if I'm lucky, I'll be home by 7 p.m. And I'm going to bed at like 10 because I have to wake up early, and just being out with kids all day, whether I have classes or not. Actually, not having classes is so, like, I don't know, like, it just takes so much time. It's like I could be doing so much more, and here I am, I have to be at school, and I don't even have a class. But anyway, that's a different story. That's not what we're talking about. So I was stressed from work, stressed with readjusting my whole daily life. And then during week 3, I attributed it to the stress. Let me show you the graph here for week 3. Here is the body weight and the body fat tracking for week 3, May 4th to 11th. I was doing fine with my diet. I was low carb, everything, but the scale just kept going up a little bits at a time, and I was starting to second guess what I was doing, because I was doing everything right. I was under my calories, blah 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 blah, and here the scale is going up, and so I was like, okay, I'm stressed, so I'm probably reacting to that in not a good way. But I did, I stayed low carb, stayed keto until May 10th. So on May 10th, I had plans to meet someone for dinner. So the guy I was supposed to meet, not only does he not even show, he doesn't contact me, nor have I heard a word from him since. And I'm just like, you were the one who was so insistent on meeting. Okay, well then we're not gonna do that. And I was already at the restaurant waiting, and so I was just like, screw it, I'm getting my curry. I'm getting my free dinner. That night I did not eat low carb because I was tired. And because I was tired, like, I just didn't have the energy to convey to this man. Doesn't really speak Japanese, doesn't speak English, I think he was from like Nepal or something, that I don't need the naan, I don't need the rice, I'm low carb. Like, last time I said no naan, he brought naan. he just said, oh, there's no butter on it. I'm like, no, if anything, I want the butter. Anyway, it was too much work, which is the bad excuse, but being tired, it was. Just give me the full set. It's gonna be the last time that I come here, and I'll turn it into like a carb refeed experiment sort of thing, which is part of, like when I said when I was doubting what I was doing, is I don't regret doing low carb. I love low carb. I love keto, but there are a lot of different ways that people are doing it. Like some people do carb refeeds like once a week or once a month or something, and I really didn't want to do that because I was afraid that it would start triggering cravings again. I think it should be okay. We'll see how my body reacts, to suddenly having bread, like flour. It didn't react well. I was bloated like a boat as soon as I finished eating, and I just felt heavy and just like a rock was sitting in my stomach. On Friday night, my friend had a farewell party. You had to pay $30, 3-hour all you can drink, and then it had a course meal. I wasn't going to drink anything except for water and or tea. So I didn't want to pay the $30, but there was no way you could be part of the group and eat differently. So I'm going to see my friend. It's not a big deal. I'll pay for it, but I'm still not going to drink or anything. And I didn't drink. Actually, I have no problem. For the course meal, like half of it I couldn't eat, but the other half that I could eat, I enjoyed. Tebasaki, it's chicken wings, basically. It was chicken wings. There was like a cabbage salad with mayo, and also ehire, which is so good. It's like fish fins or something. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but it is so good. And that night I was fine. I didn't have any, but I was out late because I was like, I need to spend as much time with my friend as possible, so I didn't go home till like 2. And then I had to wake up at 5 to catch a bus to Kyoto. And in Kyoto, I was meeting 2 of my friends. They came to visit from America, and I wanted to just go to like a yakiniku, which is like Japanese barbecue place or something, but one of them couldn't eat meat unless it was halal. So it was like fish or halal meat. The only halal restaurant that I found was a ramen place, and I was like, I want ramen. I can't eat ramen, and it'd be awkward for me to go there. And I looked for an alternative. Because she said she could eat fish, I was like, okay, let's go to sushi. I know, sushi has rice, but bear with me, hold on a second. So I looked up the sushi restaurants, and I found that one chain of the conveyor belt sushis sometimes has sashimi, which is just the fish without the rice. I'm like, okay, I can go and get sashimi. However, when we got there, they did not have any sashimi at all. Everything was with rice. I never really had my last round of sushi. We all just enjoyed the sushi together, and here's a little clip of what we started eating.
I'm like in your way, sorry.
Sorry, I'm gonna zoom in for a video when he's done with his. Okay, I went off keto for 2 meals. 2 meals. How did I feel? After the naan, I didn't feel good. I think it was more because of like the flour. After eating the sushi, I was a pleasant full. Like I didn't regret it. I didn't regret it. It was good, but I mean, had a bajillion carbs from all that rice. For the record, if any of you guys are doing low carb keto and you go to a conveyor belt sushi restaurant and you think you can just eat the fish or the toppings and leave the rice, don't. That is so rude. They will give you the dirtiest look. Just don't. You didn't waste food anyway. Either go to a higher level restaurant and get the actual sashimi or go to the supermarket. So interesting thing that I noticed about that day. I didn't have any cravings or anything after eating the sushi, but on the bus back, I had peanuts. I had to walk home I didn't have to walk home, but I'm like, oh, I'll just walk home from the station and save an extra $2. Something about those peanuts, and whether that was like the carbs in the peanuts plus the carbs of the sushi hit that level where like I started to get cravings, or it's just the peanuts themselves, because remember how peanut butter did the thing, and I think peanuts in general could be a trigger food for me, and that sucks because it's delicious. When I was walking home, I freaking got ice cream. I got a bar of ice cream. I didn't regret it. I think craving and wanting are 2 different things, but I was really wanting mint chocolate ice cream, and I can't wait for Halo Top because it ain't here. I really wanted mint chocolate ice cream, and I got an ice cream bar. So it was like 2 cheat meals and a cheat, I guess you could, if you want to call it cheating. That's just what I ate. I don't feel like I cheated because I don't regret it. I think I learned from it, and that will take us into week 4, because now we cleared the weekend. So let me show you the charts for week 4, because I think you already know what it's gonna look like. But eating carbs definitely helped put on the weight. It wasn't so bad at first. You can see the beginning of week 4, which is May 11th. Right after I ate the curry, I did bump up to 174 pounds, and then, or after the weekend, it, again, because of the sushi, I want to say it's just because I ate carbs, but I still think I was really, really stressed, and I just wasn't reacting properly to that stress. It does affect you. The day that I ate sushi was on the 13th. However, that spike in weight and fat didn't show up until the 17th. So it took a few days. So because it took a few days for that weight fluctuation to show on the scale, I'm thinking it was probably my body holding water. Don't think I reacted really bad to having those high carb meals, because it was only like an isolated incident. It's not my normal life anymore. And I did go back to low carb right after that. And I have no trouble. I've had no cravings either. What I really want to talk about is really important, I think, especially if you're a female and you're trying to do low carb and keto, at some point your hormones should balance out and be normal. Mine, I think mine are broke. I'm just gonna be frank with you guys. So if you're a guy and you don't want to hear this, I'm sorry. Just like mute until a picture shows up or something. I don't know. You know what? Guys should hear this too, because maybe your girlfriends or your moms or just somebody you know is doing this and they're having trouble. You should be there to support them. So, TMI time. Number 1, bowel movements. At the beginning of week 3, I was having trouble going to the bathroom. I was using how my stool looked to kind of evaluate what was going on with my body nutritionally, if there was a correlation. It turns out that when you have small, round, hard stool, you have too much protein. When I looked back at, my macros that I've been tracking, that I think end of week 2 or so, or around that area, I was having a chunk more protein than I really needed. This is good. I can see a pattern here, and when I brought my protein back into its normal macro ranges, I didn't have that trouble anymore. However, at that same time, I was kind of fluctuating in carbs a bit, and I did have 2 high carb meals. So your bowel movements and your stool is a good sign of your nutrition. Another is, can you see? Can you see? Focus. Oh. Maybe you could see, but there's horizontal ridges on this handle. When you have horizontal ridges in your nails, that's a sign of nutrient deficiency. I did kind of try to go back to the egg fast, because I was also trying to stay on that budget that I talked about last week, which after doing the math I was like, wait, why did I choose $25? If I buy a butter, I can't buy anything else that week almost, because butter's $8. So yeah, that was also a little stressful, me trying not to spend money but also getting the food that I need. So I ended up buying a lot of eggs for breakfast, lunch, and then something special like beef or chicken for dinner. I realized I was probably nutrient deficient somehow, somewhere. I attributed that to only doing the eggs. I decided, okay, I do need to have enough carbs to get my minerals in. You need to watch your micronutrients as well, because it can really mess with your body. And as I was saying, hormones. I've never been a person who was regular. My period would never come exactly a month. It was always a week or 2 late. But since, I had my period in March. I didn't get it in April. I only had 2 days of spotting, which is I never get spotting. If it was on that monthly cycle, then this past week would have been the time for my period to come or start coming. So it'd be pre-period week. I think that not only was I holding water, but I was having hormonal and probably adrenal fluctuations to make me hold extra weight the past 2 weeks. Fortunately, let's go back to the graph for a second. If you look at the last entry for May 18th, you can see the weight went back down to 172. That's nice. I'm really glad that happened. So I'm back down. Yeah, so the body fat and the body weight are back down to kind of what I've done. And let me show you the 4 weeks. First, I'm going to show you the total for weeks 3 and 4, so you can see it was growing, it was going up, the weight was going up, and I was panicking. And then we kind of dipped back down a little bit. It's higher than I did start 2 weeks ago. However, I think we finally reset the system, maybe, hopefully. Okay, so these two graphs are over the past 4 weeks, weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4, so about a month's worth of data. And just, you can see in the top graph the body weight fluctuating, going up, coming down a little, up and down a little, and then the past 2 weeks it came up and it's starting to go down again. I mean, it just goes to show you that your weight will fluctuate and you will have your down days. So this is only the first month of the 12 weeks of keto, and it'll be interesting to see whether this, like, a similar pattern continues into month 2. Like, will the first 2 weeks be a weight loss, and then will there be a spike where hormones, like, I'm really curious to see how next month turns out, because if this spike is consistent, then that might have to do with the whole hormonal menstrual cycle thingamajig. And the final sort of review that I want to talk about in regards to the last month is calorie. Calories are not as simple as calories in, calories out. Let me just show you my month in calories via MyFitnessPal. On MyFitnessPal, you can see a graph of how your calorie intake has been over like the past week, the past month, etc. You look at the graph, the red bar now is about 1,700 calories, so it is at a deficit. My maintenance for all my activity and everything is 2,200, 2,400, depending on how active I am that day. I just set it at 17 because I usually get full anyway. And you could see at the beginning when I was doing the egg fast and I was doing 1,900 calories a day, I was just a little over calories, but I was still losing weight and I was full. Like 1,900, I was full. And then at that point is when I actually lowered the daily goal for calories. Except for the few occasional spikes, I've been under those calories consistently. However, if it was as simple as calories in, calories out, then I should have been seeing more, I guess, weight loss or something. It's a lot more complicated than that. So it's been a crazy 2 weeks and a very interesting month overall. I'm really sorry this video is long, but there's just so much that I had to talk about today, and I wanted to talk about it properly. Especially I wanted to go over the data and just openly talk about the past 2 weeks, you know, what I did and what I didn't do. The next month is going to be interesting, and I want to really quick touch on stress again, because another reason I've been stressing is I have this obstacle course race, the Spartan race, next Saturday. Less than a week away now. My heart rate's already going up when I think about it. And I've been stressing about that because I'm just really nervous. I want to do more training for it, but now when I come home from work, like, I don't even have the time. So I've been trying to do a little workout in the morning, or just a little bit after I come home. Try to get something in, but I don't feel like my training is enough, and that's stressing me out. I'll keep trying to do my best, but once that race is over, a huge weight will be off my shoulders. Oh my god. Probably next week I will update you guys again on Sunday, encompass the stress and get it out of the way, and then after that I can go back to Thursday updates, because I won't feel stressed and like I have to do something else. So next week will be a Sunday update. I will aim for a Sunday update after the race. So that's all I'm going to talk about today. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them below. Thumbs up if you think I'm kind of doing something right, or if you're like cheering me on. I'm having fun with this, and I think after I have 2 more months of data in, I'll probably have a little more substantial like proof of something. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I have to get on with today. It's another busy day, and hopefully get some training in because race. Yeah, race. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.